Hello and happy Labor Day, everyone. Welcome to Billy Ho Sports. This episode, we're going to take a look at some of the future stars coming down the way in a 7 furlong dirt sprint, 2-year-olds. It is going to be the final day tomorrow, Labor Day, for the Saratoga meet, and it has been an absolute pleasure to bring you all the great content racing wise through Saratoga. We're just getting into the summer. Time for some Breeders' Cup action coming soon. 2 months away, a little more than 2 months. So we got to get that content rolling. I thank you so much for joining me today. This will be a quick one. Viewer support, very important to me. So make sure you have subscribed to the channel. Click that like button while you're at it. And of course, comments always welcome and encouraged. Let's get into the grade one hopeful going 7 furlongs, 2-year-olds. I think we are going to pass on number one, Mr. Mendelslew, Carlos Mencia, the mind of Mencia, not looking good at 50-1. First time starter, no thanks. Number two, Ferocious is a sort of an interesting one, sired by Flatter, trained by Gus Delgado. One going away in the mud at Saratoga, very impressively, 99 inflated speed figure, running a 102 late pace, heavily bet, is first in prime power, and it is all due to this maiden breaker right here. So I'm going to be interested into seeing what this horse can do next out, because I don't know that I'm going to be backing this horse if it's going to be under 2-1, 8-5, 6-5. I don't think it's going to go off as the favorite. We have number three, Innovator by the GOAT, Dwayne Lucas, who used to be just the gold standard training up 2-year-olds. But nowadays things are just done differently. He likes to run them hard early and often. 3 races under his belt already, 1 per month. That's how Dwayne rolls. And so he's still trying to break his maiden, but did get back-to-back second places going 100K, and is the only one in the field that has gone 7 furlongs. Now, there are a few that have gone 6.5, but he has gone 7. Lost to Sandman by a length and 3/4. Failed as the favorite. So gonna need to be bouncing back for the son of Authentic. Next one is Tough Catch, which Tough Catch 2-back defeated Innovator, running a 90 speed figure and a pretty good opening pace, 102, 108 early speed figs, going 5.5 furlongs. Was able to hang on, had a 3-length lead in the stretch, but held on by a quarter length. Dallas Stewart trains, Luis Saez rides. So this one's going to have some early speed. We'll see what he's got. 280K price tag. There are some things that I look at, and I'll share with them. Stick around. I'll share with a few thoughts on 2-year-olds and what I look for specifically in past performances. So be ready for that. Number 5 is Smoking Wicked. That's Dallas Stewart, Tyler Gaff. Finished second in the Bashford Manor. Got some stakes experience. The Saratoga Special, third by 3.5. So this one is definitely needs to be considered. 89 speed figure. Got the 101 in the middle. Studley Do Right. This is the one I'm going to have some interest in. John Robb trains. Very good with 2-year-olds. Xavier Perez, primary rider. Sanford, this one jumped up after breaking the maiden first out for 53K. Immediately went to the Tremont and won that one over Touchy and 3 Echoes. Bobbled at the start and closed well. Got bumped at the start and came on late again in the grade 3 Sanford, losing to Moplex. Moplex is one of the top 2-year-olds in the country. He won this race and then wheeled right back after that and won another stakes race. So Studley Do Right, definitely interesting there. Minty was the big one from Todd Pletcher Barn and owned by Repo Stables. Won this one convincingly until it wasn't, right? Big, opened up a big 5-length lead into the stretch. Johnny V just kind of cruising home in confident in hand. And then here comes Colloquial late colloquial, pronounce that right, coming flying late. Johnny V took 3 or 4 checkbacks, and he felt good about he didn't think that horse was going to catch him, and he was almost made a fool of because he just held on by a nose. So that brings us to 8, Chancellor McPatrick. That's Chad Brown. Got a back-to-back Chad Brown entries in Chancellor McPatrick and incentive pay. Both of these horses, they paid pretty good amount for. Uh, 725K for Chancellor McPatrick, 315K by Claravich Stables for incentive pay. They both won at first asking, running pretty decent speed figures and coming from off the pace, both set to close. Uh, Chancellor McPatrick really, Pratt really had a strong ride there. And I mean, he really got after that horse down the stretch. It really looked like he was just neck punching the crap out of him in the stretch if you watch it, which I don't think he was actually doing that. Flavian's not going to be abusing horses like that. But it did look like he was really whacking him in the side of the neck, scrubbing him down the stretch. But he got him up. He got there late. He was 8 lengths off the lead in the stretch and then closed out to win by a length. So very good finish. Similar by incentive pay, Joel Rosario, he had him up near on the lead at the top of the stretch and then cruised home by 2. He didn't really start off very great. He was tossing his head about some, but he got him together and really burned it up through. But he did take the inside rail trip to get it done in that one. So it was over after that. He did look very fast. Once he got clear, he looked really fast down the stretch. So incentive pay definitely is an interesting one from the Chad Brown barn. So basically, what I was saying before about Juvies, I lean a lot more on trainer and jockey. I also look at price, how much they paid for them. Like Ferocious, for example, they paid $1.3 million for that one. Innovator, they paid 900K. I mentioned the ones earlier from Chad Brown barn paying well into the 6 figures. That doesn't necessarily mean the horse is going to be any good or not. It's just that kind of a prospect, the breeding, the way it looks. You know, they go through their entire process on figuring out these horses. But there's a reason why they were that expensive to begin with, because they have that kind of potential. Ferocious, he might be a nice prospect, but like I said, I'm not hitching my wagon to Gus Delgado with Ferocious. He's just not poor maiden win trainer record, no wins in 24 starts. Uh, just the allowance and or the stakes record, basically not all that high with the 2-year-olds. Javier Castellano, not really a great record. 1 win, 12 starts on 2-year-olds. Number 3, BC Stables, like I said, paid 900K for this one. Dwayne gets them out early and often. I think that would give Innovator a chance to win this race. The one of the other things I look at is horses that have average win distance in that ballpark and the sire production index. Now, there are some in this race that are fairly new sires. Complexity, I don't know that has sired a whole lot. A lot of these are new names to me. Bobby's Wicked One. Nyquist obviously is there. We'll get to Studley here in a second. City of Light, obviously, we've seen what that sire can produce in fierceness. Chancellor McPatrick, like McKenzie, I believe is pretty familiar too. But there was another one, Volatile. I'm not 100% sure. A lot of times when the sire is fairly new and doesn't have a big sample size, you won't see a big average win distance. So if you see these fives, like and I think there was a 5 even and a 5.5, a 4.5, things like that. Probably not a bunch of starts, but pretty much successful early. 3.68 sire production is really good for the early start to that one, which I think Smoking Wicked obviously got stakes experience, so he's going to be one that you need to be interested in. But I think all in all, the way I watched a couple of different times Studley do right, get after it, really had a good race, running second, closing down at Moplex. And I think Moplex is a very, very good prospect. I think this was the stiffest competition. He also faced 3 Echoes, which is, I think, another good one. I think with a good trip, He's going to be closer to the pace, and I think this race will be won by somebody stalking or coming down the stretch off the pace. I don't think it's going to be a wire to wire. That's why I don't really like Mentee all that much, and also Ferocious, who's a front runner. Or no, I'm sorry, Innovator. I don't think will win the race, but I think he can be up there. I mean, you don't run second places like that without being pretty decent. I think Ferocious underneath is a play, although I don't like him for the win. So that will do it for the Labor Day hopeful stakes tomorrow, Monday, September 2nd. And I am hopeful you have a great weekend. Be safe, have fun. Don't forget to sub to the channel and hit that like button while you're at it. And until next time, we will see you soon.